Welcome. We, the students of mathematics, are initiating ourselves to be parallel with, to be face to face with the eternal values reservoir as Surya Nabhi, our blissful Vedic knowledge prayer of four folds as soul, syllable Om, Gayatri Mantra, Saraswati Mantras, Maheshwara Sutras, and Ganit Sutras provide us an appropriate mental state for being face to face with these eternal reservoir of values within Surya Nabhi, orb of the sun, as well as within our heart, a way up till navel knot, our Nabhi. To many, it has been still a surprising experience as to how, without any instruments whatsoever, we as human beings existing within human frame are full of potentialities to cause and to imbibe the existence phenomenon within Surya and the entire solar universe. This is so as the existence phenomenon within our body, within human frame, as well as within Surya, the sun, are of parallel formats. There being parallel format of the existence phenomenon within Surya as well as Purusha. So there is no need for any external materialistic framed instruments. No doubt our senses have limitations, but these limitations as these are only till there is a consciousness base for our intelligence. The intelligence with consciousness base makes a system, processing system. It is this system standing activated that the entire rest one-to-one feature, correspondence, and communication between the existence phenomenon as is there within sun domain and the existence phenomenon as it is here in human body go parallel. Therefore, to all those who want to approach the universe with the aid of external instruments may still yet without personal experience will not be having a confidence as that all preserved as Vedas as processing of the existence phenomenon within human frame and within solar universe being parallel is highly scientific, is highly mathematical and is fully of eternal values. Sadhkas shall approach the organization of the text of Srimad Bhagavad Gita along a Sthapatyamairing rod as a synthetic setup, paper cubes 1 to 6, the representative regular bodies of 1 to 6 space, and as 6 space, Surya is of creative dimensional order, 4 space in the role of dimension of 6 space. Further, as 4 space itself is of a spatial order, so there will be a twofold flow from within Surya, within 6 space body, from its center, its Nabhi orb, along both directions. It will fulfill simultaneously northern and southern hemispheres. It is Ganita Sutra 13, Sopan Antya Dvayamantyam. Each domain is having a pair of endpoints on either side of the center. Sopanantyam, Dvayamantyam is 13th sutra. Surya as formulation is of TC value 13. 6 space has 13 geometries. Hypercube 6, a representative regular body of 6 space, as well is having 13 versions. Surya Nabhi and Surya Ank are 2 formulations which shall be approached in terms of their respective TC values. Surya formulation is having TC value 13, while Nabhi formulation is having TC value 20. As such, Surya Nabhi is a formulation of TC value 33, and Surya Ank is a formulation of TC value 21. One may have a pause here and take note that value 21 is the summation value of values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. As such, Surya Ank is 6 as 6 as a range 1 to 6 is of summation value 21, which makes the TC value for the full formulation Surya Ank. Ank itself is a formulation which is of TC value 8, and we know that 6 space plays the role of dimension of 8 space, and as such, value 6 is interlinked with value 8 as TC value of Ank, and value 6 is also interlinked with formulation Surya as 6 space has 13 versions. Further, value 6 is also interlinked with Surya Ank as 6 as range 1 to 6 makes value 21 parallel with the TC value of a Surya Ank. Our initiation in this domain is to be in the background of Shloka 1 of chapter 4 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, where Lord Krishna bestows the enlightenment upon Arjuna by expressing as that he, Lord Krishna, incarnation of Lord Vishnu, add fulfilled sun with the features and values as it has. We know that four space plays the role of dimension of six space. Lord Krishna, incarnation of six space, is six space Lord, and Lord Brahma, creator the supreme, the presiding deity of four space, is the overlord of four space. Therefore, while proceeding further, we be face to face with this organization feature as that the enlightenment here in this first shloka of chapter 4 is that six space body has all its features and values as could be there because of creative order, because of four space as dimension of six space. One may further have a pause here and take note that each domain is of features and values as are there because of its dimensional order. Sun is having all features and values as are there because of four space playing its role as a dimension of a six space. As such, this enlightenment puts us on the path that when we are full of anxiety, when we have intensity of urge to know as to the features and values of Surya and his solar universe, Saur Mandal, then our focused attention is to remain upon four space in the role of dimension of it. It is this initial background which will sequentially take us to, as is depicted on the computer screen, that Surya Ank as of TC values 13 plus 8 is equal to 21, parallel with the summation value of 1 to 6. And then it is this 6 which is Surya as a six space body. It is Purusha as a six space body. It is value 6, the first perfect number. It is the sixth vowel. It is the hypercube 6, the representative regular body of six space. Therefore, sadhakas fulfilled with intensity efforts to be parallel with the features and values domain of orb of the sun shall approach this domain distinctively as a Surya, as Purusha, as value 6, as sixth vowel, and as hypercube 6, the representative regular body of a six space. As six space domain can be swapped by the miring rod synthesized by the representative regular bodies 1 to 6 pieces together synthesized as a miring rod. Here on the computer screen are indicated in symbolic representation interval, square, cube, hypercube 4, hypercube 5, and hypercube 6. Now see that this organization is as if we have a single dimension, pair of dimensions, triple dimensions, quadruple dimensions, penta-dimensions, and x number of dimensions. It is as if we are having unit 1, but we know the gaps between 1 and 2 as 1.5, between 2 and 3 as 2.5, between 3 and 4 is 3.5, between 4 and 5 and 4.5, between 5 and 6 is 5.5, between 6 and 7, the pole star, the seven space body 6.5, prior to 1 as half. As such, the Vedic systems are availing pair of different generic units. One is 1 as 1 and other is 2 as 1, means half. Therefore, how we can simultaneously chase with this pair of distinct generic units, that will be indicative of our potentialities parallel with the potentialities of the Vedic. Now, Surya Nabhi. Surya tissue value 13, Nabhi tissue value 20, Surya Nabhi of tissue value 33, and see this value 33 availing digit 3 for both places is well indicative as that this organization of a 10 place value system parallel with the split of a three-dimensional frame into a pair of three-dimensional frames, and as a consequence thereof, there being a release of the origin, four spaces origin of a three space. So Surya Nabhi is a setup where there happens a split for a three-dimensional frame into a pair of three-dimensional frames, and also simultaneously there being a release of a four space origin. Let us have a pause here and let us see that value 13 is in fact the summation value of hypercube 3.5, and simultaneously value 13 is also parallel which 13 geometries range of 6 space unit 1. We shall be working along this format. We will be coming to it while we will be having detailed chase of this system. The sadhakas fulfilled with intensity effort shall chase this system of Surya, sun, of solar universe, firstly as a Surya, then as a Purush, then as sixth vowel, then as value 6, then as hypercube 6, then as 5, 7 grid, as 35 double digit numbers of 6 place value system will be accommodated, and the first triple digit number of value 6 square under 10 place value system. At next step, the relationship of 6 space as self-referral boundary of a unity state, 7th state, which is 14 a raised to 6. A raised to 7 is to 14 a raised to 6, the domain boundary ratio of hypercube 7. Hypercube 7 is the body of a 7th space. It is pole star. Therefore, to have complete comprehension of our solar universe and existence phenomenon within sun and within human being parallel with each other, yatha pinde tatha brahmande, yatha brahmande tatha pinde, then we have to have full appreciation of this domain boundary ratio of hypercube 7, which will take us to self-referral boundary of 7 space as of value 14 nearest for 6. Next step is that hypercube 6 is having domain boundary ratio as a raised to 6 is to 12, b raised to 5, and 12 components of transcendental boundary of self-referral domain as a split 5 plus 7 is equal to 12 will well indicate as to how the Vedic systems are chasing the existence phenomenon of our solar universe. And finally, as a ninth step, we can organize 6 cross 6 grid, and its 6 columns, 6 rows sequential arrangement will take us to value 6 raised to 3. See, we started with the value 6, then at 5 cross 7 grid we reached at value 6 square, and then at the grid 6 cross 6 we have reached at value 6 raised to 3. It is here where we have to have a pause and let us pose to ourselves the enlightenment preserved in Surya Siddhanta that Surya as a guru had bestowed grace of the knowledge of Surya, solar universe, to May. Yam and May are the pair of formulations. We know that Devanagari alphabet is having Yama letters. These are 8 in number, and their TC values are 9 to 16. The formulation Yam and formulation May are having absolutely identical values for all the 10 folds of TC values. On this computer screen, on the right hand side, are tabulated these 10 folds values of formulations in reference to this pair of formulations Yam and May. It takes us to 546, a beautiful triple organization. We see that 546 is equal to 519 plus 27, and this 27 is the value of 27 nakshatras. There are Chandra nakshatras and Surya nakshatras. So it is 27 Surya nakshatras and 27 Chandra nakshatras. 27 plus 27 is equal to 54. It is parallel to 6 cross 9, means 6 space as dimension, taking us up till 9 space as an origin. But naturally, the question which will arise and must arise, must agitate, deserve to be satisfied is as that when all the 10 folds chase of the TC values is not having any distinctive feature between the pair of formulations Yam and May, then how is it that we can transcend the solar universe? One may have a pause here and take note that if instead of insisting upon the letters, we insist upon the syllables, then Yam and May both are setups of a pair of syllables compositions, and if we focus upon the values of this pair of syllables for each of these formulations, then it will be 2 and 9 and 9 and 2. This will take us to as 29 and 92, or reflection pair, as here the digits 2 and 9 are swapping their places. And when we will approach these values along 10 place value format, these will be 29 and 92, summation value 121, which is 11 square, and as such, it will be taking us to a grid 10 cross 12, which will accommodate 120 double-digit numbers of 11 place value system. It is here where the success of the Vedic systems is well apparent, as the system is availing the reversal of orientations. It is this reversal of the orientations which takes from +1 to -1, and it is of the format of reaching from one space as a domain to -1 space as a dimension. Therefore, to transcend this solar universe, we have to shift from one space as a domain to -1 space as a dimension. It is this potentiality, it is this feature of Vedic mathematics, Vedic systems, which deserves to be imbibed fully. Further, here in the context, it also will be relevant to take note that Ganita Sutra 1, Ekadhikain Purve, and Ganita Sutra 14, Ek Nyunen Purve, as these are of placements at first and 14th sutra, and the feature of placement well indicates as that we initiated with Ganita Sutra 1 along a domain, and up till Sutra 13 we had a Spanante Dvayamantyam pair of endpoints, and a step ahead we are at a dimension. Reversal of orientation has taken place. Sadhakas fulfilled with intensity of urge to be parallel with these systems, and blissful format of Shad Chakras, 6 eternal circuits of human body, are to be availed. And here where is the full answer as to how our rishis, seers, were successful to fully decode the existence phenomenon within sun while sitting here on earth, and without taking assistance of any instruments of telescopes, etc., were successful. And this success is there because of the Shad Chakras format of a human body. These Shad Chakras are having external characteristics as 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, parallel with the boundary components of hypercubes 1 to 6. So they reach from earth to water, to fire, to air, to space, and ultimately at 6th chapter, sun is a reach within human body itself from its first circuit up till its 6th circuit. But the chase doesn't stop here, as these Shad Chakras, as values range 1 to 6, as hypercubes 1 to 6, are having their gaps. So these gaps as well take us from mundane body to a subtle body where we are having chakra within each this gap. Our nabhi, navel knot, and our heart in this sequence are at placement of values 3.5 and 4. 3.5 is nabhi, and when we shall be reaching at the hypercubes with unit generic of value half in comparison to the hypercubes of unit generic 1, then we will be seeing that this sequence is going to be the culmination of the reach of sequential netting approach for the gaps of the discrete ranges. Kram Samapti. It is parallel with interval and square within a square. Interval avails single axis while the square avails pair of axes. So it simultaneous availability of a single axis format and pair of axis format within spatial order, which will help us appreciate the acceptance of the Vedic systems of 2 as a 1 and 1 as a 2 being the pair of distinct generic units processing at the base of manifestations of hypercubes of unit 1 and hypercubes of unit half. We shall be coming to this aspect as we have to chase it in full detail, as along this format is the chase of the Vedic systems. Sadhakas fulfilled with the intensity of urge shall sit comfortably and visit Surya Nabhi as our own Nabhi. Navel knot is circuit 3.5. Heart is the circuit 4. We, while sitting here on earth and while adopting the yogic technique and by providing consciousness base to our intelligence, we will be parallel with happening within the sun, being as a reality as it can be. Thank you very much.